Hi, this is Momita. I'm two times net qualified. So today we are going to learn the Payment of Wage Act 1936. So let's start with MCQs. So the question here is, under the Payment of Wage Act 1936, the maximum limit on deduction should not ordinarily cross. It is generally 50% and maximum, like for cooperatives, it can be maximum 75%. Okay, so from wages, there can be deduction can be done by employer, like ESI is there or PF is there or fine is there, and that should be maximum of 50% generally, but in case of cooperatives it could be maximum 75%. Okay, so it is important question. It has been asked in UGC net multiple times, so it is, remember this one. Okay, so move to the next question. The present wage ceiling per month for the purpose of the Payment of Wage Act 1936 is, so it is 24,000. See, the latest amendment of this act has been done on 2017. Okay, so before this ceiling was 18,000, but after 2017 it has been increased to 24,000. So any person who is drawing wages of 24,000 are included in this Payment of Wage Act 1936. The second important question. Move to the next question. So here the question is, according to this act, maximum wage period or payment of wages to employees by employers should not exceed. So it is 30 days. So employers should pay wages, maximum wage period should be, that is 30 days, or you can say 1 month. Okay. You can see employer paying wages to their employees or workers maybe within like 1 hour or hourly basis, or you can see also employer paying wages to his employers by day basis, but maximum it should be, wages should be paid within 30 days. Remember this one, or 1 month. So move to the next. So the question here is, total amount of fine imposed by the employer on employees should not exceed percentage of his wage, that is 3%. Okay, so we have read in previous question that maximum deduction should be within 50% for general, and for cooperatives it is 75%, right? But in this case, fine should be maximum charge from wages by employer, that should be 3%. Okay, and in deduction it comes like, could be ESI could be there, PF could be there, and it may be include fine, but if you are taking only fine, it will be 3%, maximum it will be 3%. So move to the next question. So in this question is saying that in any factory or industrial establishment where less than 1,000 employees are employed, the wages shall be paid before the expiry of dash day. So it is 7th day. So remember, if in any establishment less than 1,000 employees are working, then employer should pay wages within 7th day. Okay. But if any establishment 1,000 employees or more than 1,000 employees working in that particular establishment, then employer should pay wages to that particular establishment or employees involved in that particular establishment within 10th day. Okay, as I told you in previous question that employer should pay wages within 30 days, right? Or 1 month, right? Say if any person working in any establishment, that particular person is getting, say in the first day of any month their wages, right? But in that particular establishment less than like 1,000 employees are working, So in that particular establishment, employer can pay to that particular person on the 7th day of that particular month. Okay. But if more than 1000 employees, or say 1000 employees are working in that particular establishment, employer can pay wages to his employees like of that particular month on the 10th day. On the 10th day. Okay. So in this case, 7th is right. So move to the next question. Which one of the following recommended enactment of wage legislation in India in order to rectify the problem relating to payment of wages of industrial worker? So it is Royal Commission on Labour. So Royal Commission of Labour, basically they recommended wage legislation in India. Okay. So that problem relating to wages can be short out. Okay. Problem related to wage can be short out. That's why Royal Commission of Labour says to go for wage legislation in India. So move to the next question. So the question is, after the report of the Royal Commission on Labour, which of the following legislation was first enacted? So according to the last question, as we see that Royal Commission has suggested for wage legislation so that improvement of the labor could be done. So the first legislation come through this is Payment of Wage Act. Okay. So move to the next question. The term wages under the Contract Labour Act 1970 has same meaning as assigned to it under which of the following legislation? So it is Payment of Wage Act 1936. So the term wage has been described in Contract Labour Act 1970 is same as the term wage has been discussed in or defined in Payment of Wage Act 1936. So this has been asked in UGC NET. So remember this one. This is an important question. Move to the next question. So here the question is, which of the following is not considered as wage under the provision of Payment of Wage Act? Okay. Let's see the first option. Any sum paid to the employed person to defray special expenses entitled by him by the nature of his employment. So, special expenses, remember special expenses never come on wages. PF, apart from this, PF is not covered under wages. So, PF is never considered as a wages according to this act. Apart from this, gratuity is not considered as a wages. So remember all this. Gratuity will not come under wages. Traveling allowances, this is gratuity. Apart from this, traveling allowances is not come under wages. Okay. And house rental accommodation will be not come under wages. So remember all this. This is again important. It could be asked like whether these are come under wages or not. Okay. House rental allowance will be not come under wages. Okay. Apart from this, like bonus. Bonus can be considered as a part of wages if it has been entitled or it has been decided by employer has been decided or employer has been decided by joining job. Employer and employees has decided that they will get or employer will be provide bonus to his employees, right? Bonus to his employees. But if it is not entitled, means while joining, employer is not told the employees that they will provide bonus, then it will not considered as wages. Okay. So if it is entitled, then remember, if bonus is entitled, then it will come under wages, and if it is not entitled, then it will be not come under wages. It is N. Okay. Let's see the next option. Any remuneration to which the person is entitled in respect of overtime work. Yes, overtime work. Like if any employer or worker is doing his overtime, then it come under wages. Okay. Apart from this, if any person is taking holiday or leave period, that is also come under wages. Okay. And if any sum is provided after termination of employment, that also come under wages. Remember this thing, like overtime or as I told you, holiday. Okay, one second. Okay, holiday will also come under wages. Okay. And let's see the next option. Any sum to which person employed under any scheme framed under any law in force. So if any person is getting any amount from the any scheme, okay, then it is also come under wages. So it in this question it has been asked which is not considered as a wages. So answer A is correct, because special expenses is not considered as wages. So move to the next. So the question here is, who is an inspector under the Payment of Wage Act for the purpose of factories in the local limit? So it is the inspector of factories appointed under the Factories Act. So answer B is correct. So the inspector that has been appointed in the Factories Act is also considered as an inspector under the Payment of Wage Act 1936. Okay, move to the next question. Which of the following is our authorized deduction under the Payment of Wage Act 1936? So fine, yes, it can be deducted from wages. As we read it, it is like maximum it should be 3%, right? Okay. Contribution towards ESI fund, yes, it can be deducted from wages. Contribution towards provident fund, it can be also deducted from wages. So answer D is correct. Okay. So move to. So the question here is, under the provision of the Payment of Wage Act 1936, who among the following cannot be appointed as the authority by the appropriate government to hear and decide claims arising out of a deduction for wages on delay in payment of wages and penalty for malicious or vexatious claims? So let's see the options. Any commissioner for workmen's compensation. So yes, it comes under, or they generally hear or decide claims regarding delay in payment to employers regarding wages. Okay, let's see the next option. Regional Labor Commissioner appointed by the central government. Yes, they also see if there is a delay in payment of wages by employer, they generally hear or decide claims regarding this. Okay, let's see the next option. Any assistant labor commissioner appointed by the state government. So yes, they also hear and decide claims regarding if there is any deduction or delay in payment, okay, or any like any wrong deduction has been made by the employer from wages of employees. Okay, so Answer D is correct because it is saying that who cannot be appointed. Okay, who cannot be appointed. So, judge of the civil court and judicial magistrate cannot be appointed to decide or hear and decide the claims of regarding delay in payment of wages. Okay, so move to the next question. So the question here is, as per the provision of the Payment of Wage Act 1936, if deduction are made for payment to cooperative society, maximum deduction for any wage period for any employed person shall not exceed, it is 75%. Okay, so answer C is correct. As we already read in the previous question that maximum deduction in case of cooperatives should be 75%. Yes, and in general it is 50%, right? So move to the next question. In which year did the Payment of Wage Act come into force? It is 23rd April 1936. Payment of Wage Act come into force. Okay, let's move to the next question. If deduction is made contrary to the provision of the Payment of Wage Act 1936, the aggrieved employee can write to the inspector appointed under the Act within the time period given below from the date on which the deduction from wages was made or the date on which the payment of wages is due. It is 12 weeks. Okay, so answer C is correct. So if deduction, as I told you, that deduction fine can be taken, that should be maximum of 3%, right? But if in case employer like charge from employee or deducted from employee more amount, then if they are aggrieved with that, they can appeal to inspector. Okay, but that should be within 12 weeks. Okay, so move to the next question. So here the question is, as per Payment of Wage Act, if employment of any employee is terminated, okay, his pending wage must be paid in dash working days from the date of termination. So it is very important question. It has been asked in UGC NET. So it is 2 days. So if any person is terminated from the service by the employer, that particular person should get his pending wages within 2 days. So remember this one. Move to the next question. So the question here is, the appropriate government specify the industry or establishment by notification in official gazette that the wages pay only. So it is by check and crediting in bank account. So answer D is correct. See, latest amendment of this act has been done on 2017. Okay, so before 2017 it has been said that employer can pay wages to worker through by only check and crediting in bank account. But after 2017 amendment, it has been said that even employer can pay wages to his worker by even currency notes or currency coins. Okay, currency coins. But according to this question, it has been said that appropriate government, okay, if appropriate government want, okay, they can notify official gazette for any particular establishment. If the appropriate government want, they can only make application or allowed employer to a particular establishment to pay employees or workers wages through only check and crediting in bank account even after 2017 and not in currency note or currency coin. Okay, so move to the next question. So the question here is, willfully refuses to produce on demand of any inspector or maintaining record register with fine. So if any inspector goes to any establishment and asks for or demand for records, okay, to verify it or to see it, and employer or that particular say organization is denying it or refuses it to provide the inspector records, to show them records and register, okay, then in that case that particular organization or the employer should pay a fine that should be between 1500 to 7500. So answer A is correct. Okay, so move to the next question. If any person who has been convicted of any offense punishable under this act is again guilty on an offense involving contraventions of the same provision, he shall be punishable on a subsequent convictions with imprisonment for a term, that is 1 month to 6 months, and fine from 3,750 to 22,500. Okay, so if any person, say employer, is convicted, okay, so if the employer is not paying wages to the employees at the say at proper time, okay, then or he is convicting any of the provision of this act, then that particular person or the employer should go for imprisonment from 1 month to 6 months, or he may also be liable to give fine from 3,750 to 22,500. Okay, so move to the next question. So the question here is, if any person fails or willfully neglects to pay the wages of any employed person by the date fixed by authority in this behalf, he shall, without prejudice to any other action that may be taken against him, be punishable with additional fine which may extend to, that is 750 for each day. So if any person continuously, like willfully neglects to pay wages to their employees, okay, and that particular employer is continuously doing this, okay, in that case that particular employer should give additional fine of 750 rupees every day. Okay, so that's all for today's class. If you like my class, please press the like button and subscribe my channel if you haven't subscribed the channel. Thank you and have a good day.